Hello, everyone, and welcome to day one of the Perfect 10. So I'm so excited that you are joining me either live or on the replay. So I'm going to let the feed come through and kind of see who is jumping on because I am actually on time for these things. For those of you who know me well, would you say that punctuality is my strong suit? Huh. My husband is right there.
Not always.
Yeah, not always. So we're going to start to let some people pop on here, guys, and do some housekeeping and introductions and all that good stuff. And I first and foremost want to say that, hey, the man behind the curtain, my partner in crime, the real Perfect 10 out here on our porch on this beautiful day is my husband, Daniel. He is on his laptop so that we can see any of your comments coming through, see that you are playing full out today. So guys, the way that the Perfect 10 3-day virtual online fitness, nutrition, and mindset challenge works is in this day and age, this is how we play full out because we are all busy. And I want you to think about a time when we didn't have this opportunity in this way, in this arena to connect, where you would go to live events. You would block out your calendars and you would show up in order to glow up. So I want you to think about that for a second. In order for you to play full out for these next 3 days, I'm not asking a lot. In fact, I'm not asking anything of you. You have to ask this of you to say, am I worth 4% of my day today? Am I worth maybe max 60 minutes of my day out of my 1,440 minutes of the day? And the short answer is hell yeah, you are. Okay, so we see some people jumping on here. I know that I see Nicole, Linda, Sarah, Missy, KJ, Stephanie. Thank you guys for jumping on. I wanted to acknowledge you. Rachel. So if you are just jumping on, once again, hello and welcome to day one of the Perfect 10. Over these next couple days, gals, we're gonna be framing each day. And day one is all about the Perfect 10 mindset. Day two is about the Perfect 10 asset. So we'll be working out a little bit. And day three is about the Perfect 10 tool set. So the mindset has to happen on day one because the reason is I want you to think like you're building a house today. Would you start to build your house with the roof first? Of course not. We need to first start with a firm foundation. And that therein lies the power of our mind. Now, before I dive in deeper, as you guys are continuing to jump on, let me know that you're here and playing full out to commit to the 4% of your day by dropping a yes in the comments. Now, I know you can read this backwards, I know. With Facebook, I don't know how to do the flippy-do inverse image, but yes, say yes in the comments. All right, if you're playing full out. What I'm going to
Rachel,
do...
we got Kelly, we got Missy, we got Colleen, Stephanie.
They're saying yes.
You got BJ.
So what that means is that you guys are closing out the tabs on your computer, on your phone. You're ignoring the scam likely calls. You're ignoring the 1,000 different political texts that we're getting today, right? Okay, soon that might subside. And you're paying attention because honestly, guys, this is for you. So you might say, Aubrey, why are you offering a free fitness, nutrition, and mindset challenge? What is the catch? So, because there's got to be a catch, right? You have to pay your bills. You have to make a living. So I want to be completely transparent with you. I've created the Perfect 10 this past summer, and I'm honestly really proud of it. Not only do I want to show it off, but I want you to put yourself through this 10-day healthy experiment because I want to, this is like my gift and my purpose, and this is what I'm meant to do. So in addition to that, a lot of you out there, or some of you at least, might be like, hey, Aubrey, 10 days sounds great, but I know me and I know my patterns. I need more. So for those of you who need more, of course, I'm going to be talking about my online paid programming opportunities for you called Envision. So we will talk about that later, but I want you to know, the reasoning behind it, because a lot of you I don't know in this group, and I want to get to know you, and I want you to get to know me. And it's kind of like dating, okay? Right now we are on this blind date, perhaps, and you want to see, like, is this person a good fit? Do I want to hang out with this person for the next couple months if and when you are ready for a full-blown transformation? And we'll talk a little bit more about that. Okay, so a little bit about me and my backstory. At this point, you all should have your Perfect 10 manual. Now, we did this on recycled paper, and my printer wasn't working, so I had to do the black and white version. And it looks something like this. You're going to want to download that to your phone. If you have a printer at home, print that stuff out. And don't miss a beat in this. I want you to take time, maybe after this live video, to read through it. It's not going to take you forever. You can read through this tonight. And you're going to want to set a day, maybe it's specifically tomorrow, that you're going to implement the next 10 days. Okay? And this explains in great detail how I created the program, but I'm going to give you the Cliff Note version. So who am I? My name is Aubrey Worek, and I have been in the business of building bodies and improving mindsets for the last 20 decades.
20 years, not quite 20 decades. She's not that old.
Man, see how good the program works? I've had 2 decades, hashtag 20 years. Oh my God, thank you. He's my quality control. I always do that, guys. All right, so anyway, for the last 2 decades, and I have worked really hard because I'm passionate and a little obsessed with trying to help women thrive in the body that they're in, and to dispel the myths of nutrition, because what once was a fact might no longer be a fact. I started off with a degree in exercise science, now, and a minor in dance and gerontology. I graduated from Slippery Rock University, and over the years, I've acquired many certifications. I'm a nutrition specialist. I have taught group fitness classes since I was 18 years old. I'm now 44. And I've acquired these things not only to gain credibility, but to also make sure that, I am delivering the best, latest, greatest information that I can possibly find, but also aligns with my core values. So the Perfect 10 is really essentially a program that right now, how I started, I didn't start in the gym, and I didn't start with supplements. And I also really wanted to make sure that we are starting this program building gratitude. Gratitude for the bodies that we currently have, right? And today we are going to be closing the gap from where you are into where you want to go. Now, I didn't always have a great relationship with food or my body. I grew up as a dancer, and I wanted to be a dancer so badly, a professional dancer when I was a young girl. And there lies the issue. If you grew up as a dancer, you know that you were constantly staring in the mirror, and you were constantly being compared maybe to the gal next to you, or comparing yourself, which there is benefit behind that, but there is also a dark side where comparison can be the thief of joy. So what that set me down was a very dark path for several years. And I'm here to help you and other women take the elevator, not the stairs, because I took the stairs on my journey. I felt that over the years I developed an eating disorder with anorexia, bulimia, binge eating disorder. There's been times where I've been under 100 pounds, and times that when I was not pregnant, I've been pregnancy weight. And let me tell you, both extremes, I was not thriving mentally or physically, emotionally or spiritually. There's a part of me that was really hurting. And the reason why I share this story is because it is no longer an open wound. It is a scar that is well calloused over. And I share this story because maybe you can relate, not necessarily to an eating disorder, but especially now we live in a time where people are talking about the new cliche term of food noise. I hear that a lot. Or we live in an era where now we can take a semaglutide or take a shot if we are struggling with our weight. And there's no judgment built around that. But I want you to know that this technique that I have developed and have implemented on hundreds of women over the years has evolved. It has been perfected, and it does not require, an external source from, let's say, that has negative side effects. So we have to perfect our mindset. Let's see. I'm also a TV fitness expert for Channel 2 on the Pittsburgh Today Live Morning Show, where I'll be going on next week. And really, my purpose on that show is to help people realize that you got to kiss with fitness. Keep it simple to succeed. So I really have enjoyed that for the last 7 years on the Pittsburgh Today Live Morning Show. I own and operate a pole dancing studio outside of the Pittsburgh area called Fitness Envy, where I am the conjurer of all things sexy and alluring. Even if you don't associate with the word sexy, I bet you are interesting and alluring. And by the way, that's the definition of sexy. So boom, I got you there. What else am I? A mom, a wife, all those things. And we wear many hats. So I can relate to you, the busy individual who is really striving to say, how can I put myself first? How can I become a 10 with maybe my health, fitness, and metabolism? Because, gals, I know that we can't be a perfect 10 in all aspects of our life. Dan and I talk about this all the time. Maybe we're always working on our relationship or, parenting skills. And I look to a lot of you for inspiration. And I hope to be an inspiration to each of you today in order to move that needle and close the gap from where you are to where you want to go. So right now, let's play full out. You're going to sit up straight if you're not driving. And you're just going to do a little tapping on your chest. This is like a call to action. I want you to think like you are a gorilla. What? This is the call to action, okay? So if you've never done tapping before, this is going to start to stimulate your energy, get your vibes up. Your thalamus gland is right in this area. And you do see that with animals in nature, like the call to battle. But this is the battle against yourself today. And guess what? It is you versus you. Today we are going to talk about the you versus you and the duel that you're going to have today. All right, so now what I want to talk about is your perfect 10 where you are. I'm sorry, I'm jumping around. Please tell me where you are. And this is something I did with my first free challenge. Let me ask you, let's just go completely to a trigger word. Your number on the scale. If you know your number on the scale, you don't have to drop that in the comments. I want you to tell me, are you happy with, are you like, yeah, I like the number on the scale. I'm all good in the hood. I'm here more for hormonal balance, mindset, getting fitness into my regimen. But let me know if you are happy with the number on the scale. Drop that in the comments, either yes or no. All right. So Dan's going to start to rattle some of that off. There is a little bit of a delay. And the reason why I asked this question is I want you to imagine that, let's say it's the holiday time coming around the corner, and you're like, I want to...
No Lisa, no Colleen, no.
A lot of no's. That's
So
probably why you're here. Okay.
Nope.
No.
All no's. Sort of LOL and lots of no's.
Yeah. So what that tells me is that, bottom line, you know your weight, you've gotten on that scale, and you're not happy with that number. Now, I will tell you, your dream body probably weighs more than you think. I love that quote. However, the scale now, I want you to start to reframe your mindset. This is mindset number 1, the power of reframing. If you've gone to therapy before, you know that this is powerful and potent. So we're going to really dive into this. That number is not you. It is one aspect of your human being earth suit. And I wish I would have understood this concept way back in the day, but hey, better late than never. So it is purely data. So right now, this is data to probably reflect like, okay, hey, mayday, there's some emergency here. It's kind of like when you're low on fuel in your car, right? We have to use these numbers to help navigate us. Or if you have $0 in your bank account, right? Those numbers have to navigate us. Maybe we hit a rock bottom. And the only way to go from rock bottom is up. Because when you hit 0 in your bank account, you're like, I got to build this sucker up. Okay? So I hope that makes sense. Now, make sure you do have a journal or you're writing on your manual. Any type of awesome little nuggets that you get where it's like, poof, the mind blow emoji. And if I do happen to say something that blows your dang mind, put that in the comments, because that's powerful for me. And I do want to share that with other people, make little shorts and that sort of thing. Okay, so to close the gap, let's back up. Let's say it's Christmas time and you want to go old school. You want to go to the mall. Oh, all right, just bear with me. So you go to the mall and you're like, all right, I don't know this place anymore. I need to go look at the map. And you want to go to Victoria's Secret, not Burger King, right? So there's a clear path to go to Victoria's Secret and a clear path to go to Burger King. And you have to close the gap either way to get to those locations. So let's say right now you acknowledge your weight, and maybe there was a weight in the past that you associated, that number on the scale, with happiness, pleasure, feeling interesting, alluring, desirable, or maybe just feeling good in the skin you're in. So if you know what I'm talking about, what I want you to do is put a little heart emoji, because I want you to remember that version of you. And take a moment to just write down what was happening in your life. Maybe you just fell in love, right? Maybe it was before you had a child. Maybe it was in high school. Maybe fill in the blank. Okay, so right now we're just using the number on the scale to help understand the power of reframing.
Got some hearts coming in.
We got some hearts. So I get this a lot where people say, Aubrey, you know what? I want to be this weight. A lot of times, I would say maybe 80% of the people who hire me as their fitness expert, as their transformation coach, they initially want to change that number on the scale. Now, the other 20% want to recomp, period. They say, Aubrey, I want to get strong. I want to get fit AF. I want to become the fit girl. And here is where both of you ladies are going to collide. This is one of the most powerful techniques that I share with my clients, so you don't want to miss this. And it's the identity shift. What is happening now is that you are at a point in your life that maybe you don't identify with that number on the scale, or maybe you don't identify with what you're seeing in the mirror. You're like, I'm getting older. Who is this person that's looking back at me? What is going on? So this is where it is important to take pause, to take this time today to clarify your new identity and your new vision. So before we get into that, because we are going to do a visualization exercise that has been deemed, I would say, my most powerful one, where it's a little emotional. People last time, they were crying. Yeah, they were. So did you cry? It was a visualization for women, not for men. Yeah. So
I was strong. I was strong.
He stayed strong. Okay. All right. Before we go into that, gang, all right, I want you to pull out your Perfect 10 manual. And typically this is why people have not started. Now, I would say a lot of people on this call, they have done the Perfect 10 already, and they're like, boom, I'm doing the Perfect 10 again. Cha-chow, how you like me now? And I'm super stoked for that because they got great results and they're ready for this. Now, the Perfect 10 is not meant to be a crash diet or a fad diet, all right? It is meant for you to understand how to give your liver a break so that you can get inflammation out of your body, reset your hormones, reset your digestive system. And for some of you wanting to lose weight, you will lose weight. You will change that number on the scale. For those of you not interested in losing weight, your mindset will improve. You will get stronger. You will have clarity, less brain fog. The things that all these, different companies right now are claiming that you will achieve, which I'm not saying they are wrong. But if you are looking for a natural approach with no gym and no subs, I'm your girl, man. I'm that natural athlete. By the way, I am a natural professional athlete with Fitness America and the OCB. I have a bikini competition coming up this weekend. So I'm excited about that. You guys learn more. Okay, so I don't want you to skip completely ahead. I want you to read your manual after this. But you are going to get to a point where there's like a grocery list, okay? And I'm kind of going past like the results, okay? And items needed. The items that you're going to need for this program are a tape measure, a scale, maybe a food scale, measuring cups, a journal, and an app like Pic Collage. Because if you're going to do this, if you haven't done it already or you haven't started, you want to document your progress, because you can't manage what you don't measure. That's not a quote by me, that's Tony Robbins. Okay, I'm going to throw a lot there. Okay, so if you can start to separate yourself from just that number on the scale to be like, this is just data and I can't manage what I don't measure, then drop a little yes. Now the pictures, when you take your initial pictures, for some of us that are new to this, and I've been doing this for a while, I'll never forget my first check-in pictures with the person who coached me, who was a life changer in my life. His name's Dave Wingenroth. I almost had a mini meltdown. I saw myself in these pictures. I did post them. I posted some of them last week. And I was like, I cannot believe I've done this to myself. It was like the height of my bulimia. I gained the most weight. I just abused myself, guys, like a drug addict did. And I was really, the lowest emotion that you could possibly think of was shame. I was really ashamed of myself. And a lot of times people would say, but Aubrey, look at you. A lot of people saw the good in me and I didn't see that. And thanks to people seeing the good in me, specifically Dave, he breathed that belief in me that I had the potential to change, and he changed my life forever. Perhaps you know somebody who has changed your life forever. Perhaps you've done that for someone. So you need these things, and you need to take those pictures.
Kelly says, yes, the pictures show so much change even when the scale doesn't.
Oh my gosh, yes, KJ, she is a amazing client of mine that has recently joined Envision. And she did not come to me for weight loss. She was like, I want to get strong. She also goes to my studio. She is working through so many challenges that you guys would know about. But I'm telling you, she's an inspiration to me. And she's showing up today even on top of doing my Envision program. I'll tell you what, this woman, she's going to be a force to be reckoned with. Because she's like, I'm KJ 2.0. In fact, I hope you all can be a 2.0 version of yourself, because I'll tell you what, it is one of the best things that you'll ever gift yourself. My phone was fully charged. Dan's got me. He's going to plug me in right now. I said, Dan, of course, on a day like today, where it's really important to have good connectivity, my phone didn't charge last night because it updated. That's funny, huh? Haha, funny, not funny. Okay. So those are things that you're going to need. You're going to see how to take your before pictures, how to take your girth measurements, and make sure that you read over suggestions for the grocery list. Because with Perfect 10, all the questions that you have about, Aubrey, can I eat this? Can I eat that? They're answered in here, and the reasons why or why not. This is not a time to be like, okay, I'm going to obsess with my macros, right? This is a time to understand how to actually get toxins out of your body so that your liver can work at a fever pitch. And I explain it all in this manual. So we are going to be talking about that a little bit more, but we got to get back to the mindset. So take a look at all these things. You are going to be doing a little bit of journaling in this. And by you playing full out to go through it, you are going to have so much clarity, instead of feeling like, oh, I'm just going to skip to the chart on the final page and I'm just going to do this like a crash diet. You can't do that, guys. In fact, this Perfect 10, this is the Cliff Note version of a protocol that I put myself through several years ago, just a mini portion of it, thanks to world-renowned life changer Anthony William, aka the medical medium, who, of course, I discovered him through an amazing Tony Robbins event called Unleash the Power Within, and all the other Tony Robbins events that we've done. So, I started to, quote-unquote, drink his Kool-Aid, where it just really aligned with me to say, how can I help people cleanse and heal better? And I know that not a lot of people would read his books cover to cover. How do I know this? Because did you read the Perfect 10 cover to cover? No judgment. Because a lot of times I need to grab people by the shirt collars and say, I need you to stop, collaborate and listen, okay? And focus just on this one thing, because you're going to be bombarded with all the distractions. They're coming at you, hit you in the face, okay? Focus on the one thing. Remember this pen in your face. Think of it like the Men in Black laser wand. Well, everything that you thought was a fact before might not be a fact until you read this. If this aligns with you, it's going to be so much easier to do, and you're not going to feel, oh man, I'm so jealous of someone having alcohol this weekend. All right? Because is there a perfect time to start the perfect 10? There sure is not. Because people will say, oh, I read through your manual, Aubrey, but I got a wedding this weekend. But you know what? I got a birthday this weekend. Oh, but you know what? I was going out to dinner this weekend. There is never a perfect time. The reason why this is 10 days is because it takes a minimum of 9 days for your liver to get the crap out of your body. And if we are carrying excess weight, if we have extra weight on us, guess what that means? That we have a fatty liver. The liver can't process the fat and the toxins, and the liver's the star of the show. If you have inflammation, the liver can't process whatever we put in there, if it's pharmaceutical drugs, if it's toxins from the environment, if it's alcohol, if it's processed food. And what it does, it's like, hey, maybe my lymphatic system can take over. And that's why we feel puffy after things. So after eating things that maybe weren't the wisest of choices consistently. The lymphatic system sits right underneath the skin, and it does help to cleanse and heal the body and move toxins to the cleansing organs of the body. However, when the liver can't do its job, and we're just loading it up with a ton of protein and fat and stuff, you know, just like the holidays are coming and we just hit it up harder, guess what happens? Fat carries toxins. So these are facts. And we don't want facts to become an excuse. That quote is by me. And we all do this, you know, like, it's a fact that I'm tired. It's a fact that right now I'm spending money on getting, I don't know, what I see people do, getting hair extensions, eyelashes, and tattoos, and not maybe shifting those costs to other things that are true to up-leveling my health and fitness, okay? Please know this is not said with judgment, guys. I want you to know that what's most present in me is very most common in all of us. So I have done all these things. Retail therapy, right? That is a thing. All right, so I digress. Dan's going to keep me on track. So are we ready for the mindset shift?
Let's shift those minds, ladies.
All right. So wherever you are, as long as you're not driving, what I'd like you to do is close the tabs on your computer, on your phone, except me. And you're going to find a place just to sit still, where you're going to have 2 feet on the floor. You're going to be able to align your spine nice and tall. I do see Tilo out there, some of my former yoga participants. 2 feet on the floor. And you're going to take a couple of palate cleansing breaths. So what that is just an inhale through the nose, and exhale through the nose and mouth, and then swallow. I'd like you to do this a couple times. So this is the palate cleansing breath. This is one that I've just kind of coined this term. And the reason why I call it the palate cleanser is because I want you to swallow, and this is going to help you reset the vagus nerve that runs from the nape of your neck all the way to your tailbone. It's the rest and digest nerve. And by you resetting this nerve, this is going to help you become less distracted, to calm the monkey mind, to shift your brain waves. The monkey mind, we think over 60,000 thoughts a day, everyone. So if you want to say that you have self-diagnosed ADD or ADHD, join the club. Here we are. Kumbaya. Take another deep breath. Inhale and exhale. Now you're going to experience a form of sensory deprivation, where I ask you to please close your eyes. No peeking. Take this time to close your eyes so that you can go within. We're going to take a little journey now, placing your left hand on your heart and your right hand's on your belly. We're going to take a couple more deep breaths. Nice and full. Feel like you are stretching your lungs and your abdomen when you're doing this. Don't overthink it. I just want you to breathe in, feeling your breath, and breathe out. As you're feeling your breath, this is your life force, your energy within inside of you. Give yourself the gift today to start to quiet your monkey mind. I promise you, all the things that you need to do will get done in some time and space sequence. But right now, you're going to shift with me. And the biggest shift of today starts now. Take another full breath in. Feel your lungs stretch at the top of that breath, and slowly let the breath out. Now continue to breathe, feeling your chest and abdomen rise and fall. Keep your eyes closed. If you peek, you might see my eyes open, just so that I feel like I can better connect with you in this realm. Today, what you're going to imagine is you as a young child. I'm not sure what age is going to bubble up for you. Maybe when you were so young and free, but it's going to be you, the dreamer. That little girl who would pretend. Maybe she played with dolls, maybe cars. But I want you to go back in your time machine and think about you and what you loved to do. What were those things? Start to create and stack them in your mind. I know for me, I love to dance. I love to sing. And it didn't matter what anyone thought, because I thought I was the best singer. I thought I was the best dancer. Go to that place where you thought that you truly believed that you were the best at what you were doing. Okay. After we do this visualization, I will ask you what age that was. So now, as you look at this young version of yourself, I want you to recognize that this part of your mind, the subconscious mind, learns just like this little girl. Where this little girl learns and acknowledges images with pictures. She doesn't judge herself. She really thinks that she's the best. She believes that. Because everyone around her in her world tells her that she is, that she's beautiful, that she's smart, that she can be anything or anyone when she grows up. Smile if you're not already. And in your mind's eye, I want you to really look at this little girl. This is you. See her with all the hopes and dreams. And that person is still a part of you. You're going to start to move your hands, and I want you to give yourself a hug and imagine that you are hugging that little girl. Maybe she needs a hug, because there might be other images that tend to bubble up, that people came into her life that told her that she wasn't good enough, that those things that she wanted, that she was dreaming about, maybe they didn't make money as an adult. Maybe it was like silly. It was too hard for her to be good at. And as you see this little girl, relate. If you have a child, what would you tell that child, your child, or your niece or nephew, whoever that comes to your mind? They do need a hug. They need that physical touch to remind them that they are supported. Now, take another deep breath, knowing that your subconscious mind learns just at this age. But there's two other parts to your mind. Your conscious mind, which right now might be telling you, wait a minute, and starting to pull you from this visualization. And then your analytical mind that says, well, you know the reason why you didn't become X, Y, or Z, or you didn't fulfill your obligation to your younger self? And that analytical mind starts to stack all these facts for you that sometimes, guess what? They didn't support you to where you wanted to go. And this is why the gap has occurred. So now I want you to give a big squeeze to yourself and to that young child that is you. And see yourself as an adult where you are right now. This is where you are. And you're going to make a promise to that young girl. And this is where the identity shift comes from. Because that young girl is now looking at you and saying, I know you can do this. You're not going to let me down this time. Don't let her down. Oftentimes we get confused along the way as an adult. We forget about this young girl, and this is why maybe we overeat, we don't go to the gym, we don't show up for the entire live of the Perfect 10. We say, I don't have time for that. We don't commit to our commitments, ladies. And it's okay, because today is a fresh start, and you have that choice to commit to your commitment, the reason why you played full out. That young girl is telling you, maybe you're whispering in your ear, I believe in you. And you know why she believes in you? Because that is you looking at you, and she is still in there. I want you to take another breath. Give yourself another tight squeeze. And you're not leaving her behind this time. I want you to start to wiggle your fingers a little bit. You can slowly start to bring your hands to your lap. Keep your eyes closed, however. Continue to focus on this visualization. So now, in order to merge and close the gap with where you are now, and to bring this young girl along for your next journey, maybe it's 10 days, maybe it's with me on the Envision program. In order to close that gap, you have to make a commitment to your commitment. The things that we tell ourselves that are facts, but we can choose today to not make them excuses. You see, my friends, you will reach along the next several days a 3-pronged fork, this fork in the road, where you will make the decision to ask yourself, will this choice set me backwards? Will this choice that I make keep me stagnant? Or will this choice today make me grow? You have 3 choices to make every day. None are right or wrong. They are choices. And remember, they are your choices. No one else's, not mine. I am here to empower you today, ladies, to make the choice that you signed up for of that path that is going to advance you and move you ahead. So take another deep breath, inhale, looking back at that little girl, and then exhale. Slowly release the breath and open your eyes. Take this time just to be present with what you were thinking about. And I'd like to, when you can, put in the comments an emoji, any type of emoji that kind of bubbled up for you. Maybe it was a heart, maybe it was a smile, maybe it was sadness. Anything that you can share right now is going to be helpful for me, so that I can make sure that I deliver the best opportunities for you to make the right mindset shift. You see, I came up with this exercise back when I had to forgive another person in my life, a very close family member, let's say, who I felt had caused emotional trauma in my life. And you know how I forgave this person? I visualized her as a little girl. And that's when I thought, she didn't try to hurt me all these years. She didn't try to damage me. I thought, she did the best she could. And so I thought, if I could forgive this person when I visualized her as a little girl, what if I visualized myself as a little girl? And so that's how I started to talk to myself in the mirror. I would look at myself in the mirror differently. And to be like, wow, what a shift that was. Because the mirror was not my friend, as I told you before. I would find any opportunity to rip myself apart.
You got some sadness going on, some mothering kind of energy.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, thank you for sharing that. Yes, please continue to share. Now, we're going to take this a step further because you have some homework tonight. And I don't call it homework. I call it you work. Because homework doesn't seem like it's like, oh, I don't want to do my homework. You know, like when Robin brings homework home, I'm like, why are you doing it at school? But the you work, this is where it's at. So you have 2 you work assignments today in order to be entered into a prize. So I wanted to find a picture of myself when I was 7. And this picture that always comes up when I do this exercise is me on the first day of first grade. I remember I loved my outfit. I loved the way my mom fixed my hair. I was living my best life on the first day of first grade. And this picture, I was on my parents' deck outside. It looked like to be a beautiful day. And I looked so calm and innocent. And in first grade, nobody made fun of me. There weren't bullies then. I looked forward to going to school. And people really accepted me in first grade. But I couldn't find that picture. I think it might be at my parents' house. So I found other pictures of myself. And this is when I was probably a little over 1. I didn't have any hair for a long time. I looked just like my son when he was my age. And then I found these other pictures as a dancer. But this is as young as I found that was in my house. And I want you to do the same tonight. I want you to go back. I want you to find a picture or 2 of you as the young girl, maybe a specific image in your mind. And this is what you're going to do. So get ready for this. Write this down. You're going to find this picture. This picture is going to go in a special place in your house. Maybe that special place is on your bathroom mirror, on your refrigerator, or in your pantry. Those are my top 3 recommendations. In fact, if you have 3 pictures like I do here, get all 3 out. The reason why I've selected these 3 places in your house, 1, the bathroom mirror, is because this is where the most negative self-talk happens, where literally ish hits the fan. We should talk ourselves in the shitter. Okay. Number 2, the refrigerator, is because you know what you do when every time you open that fridge and you are eating for boredom? Look. I think you just want to reset that vagus nerve. You know how people say, well, you're just thirsty. You probably are. But we have to take pause and stop long enough to reset the vagus nerve instead of putting something in our mouth to do it that we might have regret for. Regret means we don't want to do it, and regret, or we wish we never did it, and regret also leads to shame. Lowest emotion we can have. Emotions are energy in motion. So today you're going to take that energy and I'm going to build it up. Now the last one I talked about is your pantry. It's Halloween, people. Do you still have junk food in the house? Right? So I got these 3 spots for you. And I do want to know what your kryptonite foods are, by the way. So in the comments, tell me what is in your house right now that is a kryptonite, that for the love of the Lord in heaven, you're like, you know what, Aubrey, at the end of every day, I always tell myself, I'm not going to crack open the bottle of wine. I'm not going to dive into the bag of Cheetos. I'm not going to eat my kids' leftover chicken nuggets. Now remember, your kids are growing up. When we eat, we're not growing up. We are growing out, right? So when kids are eating kid food, right, it's meant for kids. That's what I think. Like, we all had the life experience to eat the chicken nuggets, to eat the cheeseburger, to indulge in cookies. And now we do have an obesity problem with our children. But let's say your kid does not have that issue. But you have the issue of finishing your kid's food. Keep that in mind. Like, this is kid food. This isn't food that is going to make me grow up. All right. How are we framing? So, this is what we need to do. The good old-fashioned stop sign technique with these pictures. This is a technique that I've learned from one of the world's greatest hypnotherapists. Her name is Dr. Doris Cohen. And since your subconscious mind learns like a 7-year-old, you need to visualize a stop sign every time you are going to do certain behaviors over the next 10 days. If it is, you just need to stop that pattern. And you say, oh, well, that's so easy. I know. That's the point. The KISS principle. Keep it simple to succeed. So your stop sign, you're going to write on a sticky note along with your pictures. Okay. You're going to put, let me write this down.
People are chiming in with some of those foods, those kryptonites. We got a lot of wine, a lot of chips, candy, chocolate. See some themes here.
Okay. We'll talk about why those are kryptonites too. I know that we know, but it's good to remember. So your homework for tonight, your you work for tonight, you're going to put in maybe all 3 areas of your house, or at least one where you know, you're like, I need to put this in my bathroom. If I say one more negative thing about myself, I'm going to cry. Okay, it's ridiculous. You're going to put the word stop. I am a perfect 10. And guess what? You might say, well, I don't believe that, Aubrey. Guess who does believe it? Guess who believes that you're a perfect 10? Yes, that little girl believes that you're a perfect 10. So once you do that, you're going to take a selfie, and I'm going to make a post to say post your you work so that I know that you did it in your house. And if you did my program this past summer, we just did the sticky note technique of this. We didn't add the pictures. And I thought of this most recently where I've had some clients really very challenged with mirror work. And I'm like, if they saw themselves as a little girl, I know that they can do this. So it's going to be a fun experiment for all of us. All right. If you loved this exercise, put a stop sign in the comments. If you're like, heck yeah, I'm going to do my you work. That's all I got to do to build my firm foundation on the P10 mindset reset. Word, and I'm bringing that back. Word is born. Okay? Is it word is born or word is bond?
Word is bond. Bond.
It's word is bond. B-O-N-D. Okay? Guys, I was born blonde. When I did grow hair, I was born blonde. So this is kind of like, I don't know what color this is. Dirty blonde. Oh, dirty blonde. Okay.
Some stop signs on there.
Got some stop signs. Yes, people. Thank you. Okay. The kryptonites. Why are these foods kryptonites? Guess what? Back in 2007, Berkeley University did a study with rats. Okay. And what they did, they took these lab rats, they addicted some of them to cocaine and some of them to sugar. Guess what cocaine is? White powdery substance. Sugar, white powdery substance. They were like, hey, rats, go at it. And what happened was they decided, the experiment, they wanted to see, well, let's give them the option. Let's put these rats together, the coke head rats and the sugar head rats, and let's see which one they choose. They're going to choose cocaine or sugar. Guess what they chose? Sugar. Welcome to sugar poisoning season, people, where this is not only on Halloween, but on year-round. It's hard to not be an addict to this stuff, guys, in America. But the subtle art of saying no thank you, this is going to help you stop, because you are a perfect freaking 10. Okay. Now,
another
the other
refined powder is flour.
Yes.
And all those breads and...
Yeah, why is bread so addictive? Man, I couldn't live with bread or donuts in the house. And I remember, my siblings, they didn't have eating disorders. So I would ask my mom, I'd be like, Mom, can you just not buy the donuts? And she'd look at me and be like, Aubrey, just don't eat it. And I was like, wow, that's easier said than done. It is like asking, an alcoholic who's not even recovered yet to not drink the alcohol. So guys, get that shit out of the house. All right? It's not forever, but you're testing yourself every day. This is what I would do. I would test myself. And I realized, I'm like, I'm not passing the tests. I just can't have it around now. So you just dropped in the comments your kryptonites. you go running right now. I'll give you permission. Go running and get that stuff, light it on fire, throw it out of the house. You can be dramatic. You can like rage. Get those bag of chips, go outside and just start to stomp on them. Hey, you'll get bonus points if I see a video on that. Have some fun with it. Add some humor to this, right? We don't have to be like, I can't ever eat chips. Guys, they're not going anywhere. Lean in and be like, I got you, chips, by your scrawny little neck, and, you know, explode. I should do some reels like that.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Hey, I think I'm funny. I don't know. I think it would work. But, have some humor with this, right? I mean, for me, what were my kryptonites? I mean, you name it. Anything sweet, guys. Marshmallows. Now, guess what's in my house? Marshmallows. And I'm like, take that marshmallow. And you know what I do with the marshmallow? I smell it. I press it on my cheeks. I'm like, oh, God, I remember you. And then I'm like, here, Roman, you can eat it. He's like, Mom, I don't want to eat it. No, you just did that. But no, guys, I'm not saying I'll never succumb to these kryptonites. But we have to put a vehicle in place, a mechanism in place, if we want to close that gap. All right.
Mother-in-law's homemade apple pie. It's just for the kids. Don't eat it.
Yeah. Mother-in-law's apple pie. Right. Let's talk about these food bullies. They're like little drug addicts coming out. Hey, you want that apple pie? It's like in their coat. You're like, no, I don't. I'm trying to lose some dang weight and get the inflammation on my body. Get the heck out of here. I'll put that pie in your face. So there's always going to be people like that. And you know why they're there? Because you've not changed your dang identity yet. Because guess what? You see anybody bringing me apple pie? They're like, I am bringing Worek apple pie. She ain't going to eat it. Right? Right. Now, guys, I'm a fitness expert. If I was eating apple pie every day, you wouldn't want to listen to what I was saying. You wouldn't want to hire me. I'm not going to lie. Will I eat apple pie on Thanksgiving? Yeah, well, actually, probably pumpkin. I will. And I know myself. I can put it down. I know my kryptonites. So I just have to make sure that I wake up identifying with Aubrey Worek, the fitness expert. When I let my hair down, you'll see it after my show this weekend. Dan and I we're gonna indulge in desserts and cocktails. I'm not perfect, right? But for 10 days, devote to yourself. You'll look at this plan, you're gonna be like, this plan is, I got this. There's certain things not on the plan, and I talk about it, about why. Not because it's not fit in with your macros. It's, again, to give your liver a doggone break so that you can show up to glow up, and that you can improve your metabolism, your hormones, your sleep. All right? Feel me? If you feel me, give me some hearts. Give me some hearts. We didn't do fire yet. Hearts are fire. Hearts are fire. All right. I could go on for hours, and we have 8 minutes left. Okay. So did I go over all the U work? So we talked about that version of U work. And you're going to read your perfect 10.
You reframing the dual within kind of thing?
Let's just do a summary. So in summary, today on Perfect 10, the mindset reset, we were building our foundation where you understand now that there are 3 parts to your mind. Your subconscious that learns like the 7-year-old. Your conscious, that right now we're conscious of what's going on. Here I am, paying attention, going full out. And your analytical. The analytical that will overanalyze you and paralyze you from taking massive action. Be the 7-year-old. Lean into your heightened emotions that will work for you and not against you. Now, we constantly struggle with these as adults, so you will stop because you are a perfect 10. And I know that. I can't wait to put these pictures up in our house too. See what Roman says. This could be a great example for your kids if you do have children to rub off on them. So let's see here. Also, you are going to download the P10 manual. If you've not done that, make sure you drop in the comments P10 me. Some people were saying it wasn't working for them to download. Man, I hate when technology gets techie on me. It upsets me, but we'll get you the Perfect 10 manual. Read over that tonight. Let me know when you are starting. And then tomorrow we are going to be announcing our winner for the peak performance call. I want to see who's playing full out, catching me on the replay. A peak performance call doesn't mean anybody gets a shot at this raffle. Last time I did that, and I was like, it wasn't very effective, and here's why. So the reason why not everyone is going to be entered in the raffle is like, I do want to see that you're full, you want to go all in. And I need to see, like, are you serious? Like, are you seriously wanting to change, wanting a transformation? And if you're like, no, girl, I'm just showing up for the 3 days, you know, putting half of my ass into it, that's okay. It's better than none of your ass, all right? But I'm looking for someone who's looking for me. And I know that's not a lot of people in this group. It's a small portion. And those are the people who I know I'm meant to serve and I'm meant to change their lives. So those are the calls that it's like, let's have a connected discussion to see where you are and how it can help you close your gap. People like Kelly Waller on here, Kelly Johnston. I know my other Envision participants, they're also going to be doing this program with you guys, and they're going to play full out because, well, first of all, I am that fire under their butts. But I know these gals well, and they're going full out. So watch out, because they're going to show you some stuff. All right, guys.
Diane will send you the manual to see if we can get it downloaded for you.
Okay. Diane, why don't you DM me real quick your email address? That's going to be the quickest way for me to email it to you. Okay. So, guys, when you get that link and you enter your name and your email, that should then create the constant contact prompt where then it's like, hey, click here to download, and you should pop up right on your phone or on your computer, and then you can save it as a PDF. Okay. Why do I do that and not just email everyone the PDF is because I need your email address in order to continue programs like these. I told you before, what's the catch? Well, guys, you know, this is what I do for a living. So you giving me that opportunity to connect with you and to help you, think of that as like our relationship, you know, that kind of works that way. You get what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. Okay. I think I summarized everything. Yes. All right. Before we leave today, before we part ways, you're going to sit up straight once again. You're going to do your call to action because you're going to remember this. That sounded pretty good. The Tarzan technique. That you're going to move the emotions through your body, the energy and motion, letting go of shame, letting go of guilt, and letting go of doubt. So that all that remains is the belief and the power that is inside of you. Let it come out. I want to thank you all for those of you who joined me live. You get extra gold stars today. Mwah, mwah. Those of you catching me on the replay, you also get the gold stars because it shows me that you really care about yourself. And those are the people that I want to attract because those are the people I can help. Thank you guys so much. I hope you have the best day possible. Get after that work. And if you're one of my Envision clients, I will be seeing you in the Zoom room tonight at 7:30. We're going all in, baby. Ciao for now. Bye, gang.